Good morning, my dear children. Once more, welcome back to your grammar class, your English 1 class. I suppose you all spend your summer vacation very joyfully, nicely with your cousins, with your grandparents, with your parents, some of your close friends, playing indoor games, listening stories to your, listening and telling stories to your grandparents and parents, and of course to your friends. So, staying in your house. Not feeling good. What to do, my dear children? But let us pray to God, all of us. The situation will tide over very quickly, and we'll meet in the school again. So, all of my dear children, please take out your grammar book, Basic English Grammar and Composition. This book. Open to page number 25. Parts of speech. Parts of speech. Okay, page number 25. So I suppose the holiday homework which I gave you all of you did those work very neatly and very clearly in your notebook, I suppose. Yes. My dear children, you are so good. So, your next lesson, according to your syllabus, that was for your unit is the WH family. But today I want to teach the parts of speech to you. After completing this parts of speech, I'll go for the WH family. I'll do it, okay? But today I want to teach you the parts of speech. Please, my dear children, okay? So all of you, did you all open your book? I think so, yes, to page number 25. Now, what is parts of speech? So when I go for the parts of speech, I have to discuss about a sentence, what a sentence is. All of you, you're raising your hand, yes. A sentence is a group of words arranged in such a manner that it gives a complete sense. Okay, so it has a complete meaning and it gives a complete sense. Then it is called a sentence. Okay, words arranged in such a manner that it gives a complete sense or a complete meaning. Then we say the group of words to be a sentence. So, and when we go for the sentence, we see that there are certain words over there. So all the words, they are having a definite function in the sentence. To build up the sentence, they are having a definite function. So, depending on the functions which they are doing to make a sentence, these words, they are categorized into 8 groups. These 8 groups are called the parts of speech. So these 8 categorized groups are known as parts of speech. So what are those? Some are naming words, which are known as nouns. Some are describing words, which you call them adjectives. Some are doing words, which are known as verbs. So like this you find 8 types of words in a sentence, which are known as parts of speech. So let's see what are those. So all of you open your book to page 25. There are 8 parts of speech in English grammar. We use the different parts of speech while writing in and speaking English. Their names are given below: noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. So these are the 8 parts of speech. Now we are coming to noun. So what a noun is? A noun is a word which names a person, place. Animal is not given over here, but you should know it. Animal, quality or thing. So these are the things which a noun is. Ashoka was a great king. The rose smells sweet. New Delhi is the capital of India. His honesty was praised by all. Ashoka was a great king. Ashoka and king. Name of a person. One is proper noun, one is the common noun. After when I go in details about the nouns, which I will do it, then you will see that what a common noun is, what a proper noun is. So Ashoka and king, for this stage you just know these are nouns. The rose smells sweet. Rose is a flower, it's a thing, so we call it as a noun. It's written in your book. See, it's marked in red color. New Delhi is the capital of India. New Delhi, India. So you see this. These are all in noun. Okay. His honesty was praised by all. This honesty is also called the quality, or you can call it abstract noun also, honesty. Okay, like that wisdom, like that truth you find. So quality we talk is as an abstract noun. Then pronoun. A pronoun is a word used in place of a noun. So what a pronoun is? A pronoun is a word which is used in place of a noun. The boys are going to the playground. They are ready to play a match. Neha is a very good girl. Everybody loves her. Geeta is reading the storybook. She is enjoying reading it. Now, they, her, she. You see, these words are written in italics. So these are the pronoun. The boys are replaced by they. Neha is replaced by her. Geeta and storybook is replaced by she and it. Then, in sentence 1, boys is a noun. They is the word used in place of this noun. They is a pronoun. In sentence 2, Neha is a noun. Her is the word used in place of this noun. Her is a pronoun. In sentence 3, Geeta and storybooks are nouns, which I just now I told you all, okay? She and it are the words used in place of the nouns Geeta and storybook. Okay, so she and it are pronouns. Now, we are going for the adjectives. So this one, noun and pronoun, is clear to you all. Though these things you all did in your previous class, just a nutshell I am going to do it with you. Adjective. An adjective is a word that adds to the meaning of a noun or a pronoun. Okay. So Manoj is a good student. So student is the noun over here. What type of student? Good. So this good is the describing word over here. The describing the word, the student. Describing the student. Okay. Then it's a adjective. It's an adjective. He gave me some money. Okay. So some is over here. Money is the noun over here. It's what amount of money? Some. So this is an adjective over here. Then many people gathered there. Many. Okay. So many is the describing word over here. People is the noun over here. How many people? Many. Okay. So it's an adjective. He is angry with his sister. He is angry with his sister. So he is angry. It's a quality. Okay. The anger is a describing his sister. Okay. So he is angry with his sister. Then the sentence, in sentence 1, the word good is an adjective. It qualifies the noun student. In sentence 2, the word some is an adjective. It qualifies noun money. In sentence 3, the word many is an adjective. It qualifies the noun people. Just now I told you. And in sentence 4, the word angry is an adjective. It qualifies the pronoun he. So he is angry with his sister. So he is qualifying he. What type of temperament he is having? He is angry with his sister. So this angry is what? It is an adjective. Then in sentence 4, the adjective angry qualifies the pronoun he. In all other sentences, the adjectives qualify the nouns. So adjectives qualify both the noun also and the pronoun also. So keep this in mind. Not only this, the adjectives are only qualifying the nouns, it qualifies the pronoun also, because pronoun is a word which is used instead of a noun. So adjective will can qualify a pronoun also. Then word. A verb is a word used to say something about some person, place or thing. It tells us what the subject is or does. See, Sunday is a verb is a word used to say something about some people, place. So it's an action word. So what is a verb? It's an action word, a doing word or an action word. What the subject is doing. So the work or the state of being in which the subject is. So that is what a verb is. Now, Sunday is the first day of the week. So is a supporting verb. We still talk is as a verb, but it's called a helping verb or a supporting verb. They are my sisters. Are is also a supporting verb. The sun gives us light and heat. Here it's the main word, gives. We worship God daily. Then worship, it's a action. So it's the main word. We worship God daily. So in a sentence you will find a verb. It may be a supporting and a main word, both or a single. You can find, but you have to find a verb in a sentence. In sentence 1, is the verb. It tells us what the subject Sunday is. In sentence 2, are is the word. It tells us what the subject sisters are. In sentence 3, gives is the verb. I told you. It tells us what the subject son does. Okay, action. In sentence 4, worship is the verb. It tells us what the subject we do. So what the action the subject is doing, that is the doing word or the action word, and it is called a verb. Now an adverb. An adverb is a word used to add something to the meaning of the word. Adjective or another adverb. So adverb is that word which uses, it describes or adds meaning to the word. An adjective or another adverb. So you have to learn the definitions by heart very nicely. Raksha helps others happily. An adverb you see ly. Okay. Ly words are also called adverbs. Not all, but mostly you will find it. If you can take out the verb from there, you can easily, for your class, you can easily detect from there the adverb. The sun rise here is very charming. So very is the adverb over here. Sunita pronounced the word quite correctly. Quite. It is extremely hot today. So extremely. So these are all adverbs. In sentence 1, the word happily modifies the verb helps. So helps others. How? Help is the verb over here. How he helps? She helps happily. So it is an adverb. In sentence 2, the word very modifies the adjective charming. It qualifies the adjective charming. How charming? Very charming. So charming is an adjective, and it is, I told you, adverb also defines an adjective also. So here this charming adjective is modified with the word very. Very charming. Very beautiful. This very is what? This very is an adverb. In sentence 3, the word quite modifies the adverb correctly. So it is an adverb. So here the adverb is correctly. This adverb is again modified by another word quite. So both are adverbs, quite and correctly also. So it is called an adverb. In sentence 4, the word extremely modifies the adjective hot. Adjective is hot over here. It is extremely hot today. So it modifies the adjective hot. So it is also called an adverb. This extremely. Then preposition. A preposition is a word which shows the relation between a noun, pronoun and other word in a sentence. It is placed before a noun or a pronoun. So it is placed before a noun or a pronoun, and it shows the relation between a noun with another noun, or a noun with a pronoun, or a pronoun with another pronoun. So this is what a preposition shows. Okay, it's a function of the preposition. There is a cow in the field. Smita is fond of music. She put her purse on the table. He rested under the tree. So see, in sentence 1, all of you, you're opening your book now, you're following me. In sentence 1, the word in indicates the relation between the noun cow and the field. It is a preposition. Okay? So it's clear to you, my dear children. In sentence 2, the word of indicates the relation between noun Smita and music. Smita is fond of music. See? Of. Music and Smita. Of. Fond of. So the relation they are showing between Smita and music is of. In sentence 3, the word on indicates the relation between the noun purse and table. See, put the purse on the table. Table and the purse, both are noun. Where it is put on. So on is showing the relation between the table and the purse. So it is a preposition. In sentence 4, the word under indicates the relation between the pronoun he and tree. It is a preposition. He rested under the tree. So he and tree. One is the pronoun and one is the noun over here. He and tree. Where the position of he and tree? Under. He is under the tree. Okay. So this one is the preposition. Now what is a conjunction? A conjunction is a word used to join words, group of words or sentences. So conjunctions are also known as joining words. So 2 and 2 make 4. And is a conjunction. He worked hard but could not succeed. When you work hard, you have to succeed. But you can't. So when we use but, it is something negative. Okay. So which you expected, that is not being done. Then run fast or you will miss the train. Or he got a prize because he worked hard. Okay. So because, or, but, and, these are all conjunctive words and they are conjunctions. Interjection. An interjection is a word that expresses some sudden feelings of mind. Wow, bravo, alas, oh, hurrah. So all these are exclamatory words, and after an exclamatory word you give an exclamation mark. See, this is an exclamation marks you give. So this is what I talked about regarding the explanation of the chapter. Now you read the chapter thoroughly, okay, and in your next class I am going to discuss the exercises with you of this chapter, okay. I'll discuss the exercise with you of this chapter. No need to do the exercise now. You go through the definitions. All of you write the definitions in your notebook, in your grammar notebook. Noun, pronoun, adjective, all the parts of speech. Okay, all the definitions you write in your notebook, in your grammar notebook. That is your home. Okay, you have to do all those things in your grammar notebook. This 8 parts of speech, all the parts of speech, all noun, pronoun, till interjections, everything you have to write for your homework. So that is your homework, and learn all the definitions by heart. And in your next class I am going to discuss the exercise with you. This exercise I am going to discuss with you. Okay, so my dear children, so bye bye. We'll meet in the next class. Stay safe in your